I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good morning, Ahsan Irfan. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
It is excellent. It's supposed to be really cold today, so I don't know. I haven't checked the weather yet. It's only 6:30 right now in here in Calgary. So I don't know if it's going to be a beautiful morning yet, but
Yeah. Well, let's hope for the best, right?
oh yeah.
Oh, well, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time.
Okay, so you know what? There's this one thing that can cover segment 1 and segment 2, so I'm just gonna go on a roll now. Okay.
Yeah, have fun.
Alrighty. Okay. So it's not really. I wouldn't say it's a talent per se, but it's something that my grandfather instilled in me. It's the love of reading. Right now, if you want to consider it a talent, a skill, or whatever, to me, really, it's just a love. Right. Right now at the moment, I have close to about 400 books, and that's not including books that I've already sold.
Wow.
For the last 20 years. So my grandfather was a voracious reader. He had a library that was, I don't know, thousands of books, right? So I got that from him just by looking at him and him encouraging me to read. So that is probably why I've started doing a history podcast, because I was just reading so many history books. I read other stuff too, but I just read so many history books that I just wanted to share with the world what I've learned so far in my journey as a reader. And that's probably why you found me on LinkedIn. And that takes care of, I guess, question 1 and 2. Question 3, why will you continue to repeat this skill? Because
Amazing audience. This guy is interviewing himself. We're not too sure what's going on here, but he's read so many books that he's interviewing himself, which is pretty intriguing to me. I'm going to let him proceed. Go ahead, my friend.
I didn't mean to steal your show, but I've been preparing for the interview for the last week, so I've got all these answers in my head. So I'm just going to go out and get them out right. Okay, so which of my talents is responsible for this meeting? My love of reading. Who did you learn this from? My grandfather. Why will you continue to repeat this skill? Because I absolutely love it. I love it because, you can go off to far off lands and imagine things. And then that works for history, but even if you're trying to learn something, I don't think there's any way better than to sit with a good book and just read it cover to cover to learn something, even if it's a practical skill. I'm an engineer by trade, so in the mornings, that's what I do. And the one thing that I can say that helps me out is reading books on engineering and my daily craft. That's how we roll. And in the second segment, you've got the question: what is one thing you've done consistently?
I wouldn't do that, Ahsan. You see, even though those questions are there, the conversation doesn't go like that. I wouldn't do that.
No worries.
Yeah, let's start over. I wouldn't. Yeah, it definitely doesn't go like that. Let's start over. Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
Good morning, Ahsan Irfan. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful day?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to connect with you. What part of the world are you in right now?
Canada, north.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this time?
Let's call it reading.
Who did you learn reading from?
My grandfather.
Intriguing. And how did he teach you this?
Mostly by just reading himself and then encouraging me to sit with books and read them.
Oh, really? Did he read to you as well?
No, he actually didn't read to me himself. He just gave me books that he thought were interesting.
All right, all right. Do you remember one of those books? The first being the one that he gave to you to read.
The first book he gave to me was actually, I can't remember the title of the book, but it was an English book on the history of Athens. And I don't remember the author. I've lost the book,
Sure.
but it was a history of the Greek city of Athens, and it was a very fascinating book. And to be honest, that's how I just love reading history now because of that book.
Wow, he ignited in you a fire, didn't he?
Oh yeah, big time.
So why will you continue to repeat the skill of reading? You could give up if you wanted. I mean, you've done more than the average human.
Why will I continue? It's because I just love reading so much. It fires up your imagination, right? And you can learn so much from it.
Now, there's a podcast that you're going to birth very soon. Have you named it?
Yeah, it's called History Teller.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Are you excited about that?
Oh yeah, pumped up. I just finished recording an episode before we started this interview.
When is your estimated date for releasing your first episode?
January 21st.
And there we go. So by the time the podcast is live, you'll be speaking about the podcast, and it would have been live. Well, that's intriguing. Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently, Ahsan, over the last 3 years.
One other thing, other than reading, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm a meditator. So if that counts, I meditate. Well, I wouldn't say daily, but almost daily, at least 5 minutes.
All right. All right. How does that make you feel?
Oh, pumped up. Well, it's an odd situation. You feel pumped up and calm at the same time.
And what type of meditation do you do in that 5 minutes?
It's it's a Buddhist version called Vipassana. Basically, just breathing and observing your breathing for the full 5 minutes.
Why would you suggest to someone that's listening that they be more aware, experiencing that silent time, if you would, meditating?
Well, for one thing, you can become a lot calmer. Like just 5 minutes a day, you can become calm enough to handle pressure situations during the day, right? Just by doing a 5 minute meditation in the morning. Well, I guess I don't need to stress the value of being able to perform well under pressure. And if you've got that calmness about you, you can certainly handle that.
Most definitely. On an average, Ahsan, how many books have you read?
Oh, that would have been that's a tough question to answer. I don't know, maybe 250, 300.
Wow. Wow. All right. All right. Well, amazing audience. You're hearing it live here from Ahsan Irfan. Again, Ahsan Irfan, the podcast host of The History Teller. Definitely check that out. I'm going to be checking it out. Make sure I have that link, please, when you do release in January, right?
Will do, definitely.
Wonderful. Ahsan, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Ahsan, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My parents giving me a birthday gift at age 4, and the gift was a toy aeroplane.
Oh, so you were 4 years old. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
It's difficult to say, but I guess it's because it was because of love from my parents. It's one of those rare things that, I mean, with everything in the news these days, you feel this lack of love. So for me, I think it was the love from both, from my grandparents and my parents. It's probably why I remember that so much. Just my dad giving it to me into my hands, and me just smiling with glee that I've got like a toy airplane.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Gratefulness to my parents for bringing me where I am. Compared to the vast majority of people on Earth, I consider myself fairly successful. I've been an engineer for the last 9 odd years. It was a fairly well-paid job, and I've got a love of books and love of history that I don't think that I could have had without my parents' support. So that's probably why I also remember it.
Can I
It's
offer an
just
interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
sure.
I love the idea that they taught you how to imagine.
Oh yes. Oh, definitely.
That's amazing. If we fast forwarded to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Oh, that one's so easy. That's Backstreet Boys, Everybody.
There we go. Yeah, for sure. I love it. Yeah, there we go. I'm dancing. Well, Ahsan, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Ahsan?
Sure.
Ahsan, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Oh, my kids.
Are you married?
Oh, yeah.
How many children do you have?
2, a boy and a girl.
Do you believe in God?
Of course.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yep, 3.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Oh, I have to say that cutting out TV was the best decision I made because I have so much more time to do the things I actually love doing.
How about 3 hours a week?
I only watch a movie or 2 movies maybe in a month.
Okay.
So way less than 3 hours a week.
And what about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
You know what? I actually sold my iPhone because I became addicted to it. So I actually just got myself a flip phone.
Wow. How has that experience been thus far?
You know, not being connected to that thing is just phenomenal. The amount of the amount of time that you're able to spend on just other things other than just wasting time is just phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to try that out. Yeah, that sounds
Oh,
like fun.
and to mention that you connect better with your family too when you're not consistently on that thing, right?
Yeah, that's intriguing. All right, my friend, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Ahsan Irfan, what would you say that is?
It's just 2 words. I understand.
Love it. Ahsan, this was a great pleasure, my friend. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I always share this with everybody I meet. It is, if you develop a love for books, you will enjoy book. Like, how should I put this? If you develop a love of books, there is no way that you're going to be ever bored because there are so many things that you can read that will ignite your imagination and help you learn that you just won't want to quit.
Love it. It's an understanding, isn't it?
Exactly.
Ahsan, this has been a great pleasure. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.